Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, I'm filming a no buy list for 2023. Got this idea from Cassie. She's done this, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row already. I think it's just a great way of being a little bit more intentional about my purchases. So if you want to check out Cassie's video, I will have it linked down below. And if you're new here, my name is Alyssa Lenore, and these kinds of luxury fashion related videos as well as vlogs. If you like the vibe here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notifications bell so that you know when we see videos, and we're going to get started. I feel like after the holidays is always a good time to kind of look back on your purchases from the previous year and really commit to limiting what you're spending your money on. This isn't necessarily even for 2023. I think just moving forward, they're just things I know that I don't really want to be spending money on. So I'm excited to share that with you all. So the first one on my list is actually costume jewelry. And I think the last time that I had purchased costume jewelry, whether it be from like Chanel or Dior, the quality of the materials isn't really there. You're really paying for the design and the look of it. But for me, as I've gotten a little bit more into fine jewelry and investing in it, I definitely don't want to be spending my money on costume jewelry. I'd really much rather invest in something that is solid gold. And this is interesting because I actually just attended an event last night with the FinalCut and De Beers, and there were so many beautiful pieces that I just loved seeing and looking at. This is actually something that I thought about after I bought some earrings at Dior in Paris last year. And after that, I was just like, I don't really need to be spending this much money on costume jewelry. So yeah, moving forward, I'm definitely streamlining my jewelry picks because I do love just such simple and classic pieces. So there's really not a need for it. Next one, Target home goods section, decorative pillows and throw blankets. Oh my gosh, the amount of throw pillows and blankets that we have at the house. I mean, granted, it's great for when we have people staying over, when we have a movie night, everyone gets their own blanket. But every single time I go to Target, I can't help but want to add something from the home decor section. This is a hard no for me this year. I really want to be more mindful about what I'm adding into the home, especially because this year is kind of like the home update year. Last year was the wedding. This year, I want to make some updates around the house. There's already a couple of pieces on their way here, and I'm very excited about them. And as I get back into design a little bit more, I have been looking at shops that really curate their selection. I don't want to walk into the house and feel like it is a showroom from one specific store. So I've been working on really picking pieces from different places and seeing how well they can layer together. Very excited to kind of have those home updates and hopefully film something for the home for you all in the next coming months. Yeah, whenever I go to Target, I just always wander that section and I can't anymore. I can't do it. Granted, there are some things that are great, but like when I pick up candles, they don't smell great throughout the entire burn. There are things that are great for picking up at Target, like I think they have great towels and things like that. So obviously if we need to update something, it's a great place to look, but not necessarily where I want to be just wandering just because, and especially if I'm not looking for anything specific, Target is the worst place to wander. Marco would always ask me like, oh, what do you need at Target? And then I would always respond with, Target's gonna tell me what I need, but I can't have that mentality anymore. Next up on this list, we have designer sneakers. I have definitely gotten a couple over the past few years. And this is something that I don't want to do anymore. I'm too rough with my shoes, and as someone who loves to wear sneakers, especially white sneakers, they just don't age well over time. I had already beaten up the Celine canvas sneakers that I just got less than a year ago. The front sole already started chipping away, and I don't know, it just wasn't cute. So I am not going to be investing in designer sneakers anymore. We literally have an entire cabinet full of sneakers and just sneakers. So definitely trying to not add any more, especially for the price that they are. Next, we have boucle furniture, and there are already several pieces in this house that are made of that material, and I think it's just too much. So I do want to venture into other materials and textures around the house. And especially with Wade, we don't want too much light and white furniture in the main areas of the house where we entertain. So that's why we did make the switch to a black sofa. My old boucle chair from the office is downstairs in the living room, but it's a smaller piece and it's been fine. It actually holds up really well, but I don't want boucle everywhere in the home. So I'm definitely leaning more towards the velvets now, and I'm very excited to share with you all some pieces that are coming in. Next one is a hard one for me, and it is loungewear and sweatpants. Granted, I have accumulated a lot, especially over the pandemic where all I was living in was sweatpants. Literally rotate through the same like 4 pairs. There's no reason for me to have any more than that. But I can't help it when I go into a store and something feels so soft and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this. I don't need it. The sweatshirts is gonna probably be the hardest part. Just because I love sweatshirts so much. I'm literally in one right now. Yeah, I think I'm definitely good on the sweatpants and the loungewear. I do love the pieces that I have, so I want to get as much use out of those as possible. Next up, we have luggage. And this is something that Cassie also mentioned for her video. Marco and I have a lot of luggage downstairs, more than enough to travel with. We love to travel with the trunk, so that one is really great for most of our trips. We don't really need to travel any more than 2 check-ins, and the 2 check-ins really was mainly for our wedding. The only other time I think we traveled with 2 check-ins is when we traveled to Asia, because usually those are like 2+ week-long trips. Next is brand specific. I just don't see myself buying Chanel anytime soon. It's just, there's just nothing that really speaks to me. Even the current bags that I do have from Chanel, I'm not really gravitating towards. A lot of the pieces from my collection I've actually sold and rehomed, and I just don't even find myself wanting to wander into the Chanel store anymore. There's nothing from shoes or clothes or bags that I'm really gravitating towards. I'm honestly so happy with where my bag collection is, so I don't feel like I need to add any more bags into the mix. I've been more so into updating my ready-to-wear and coats and investment pieces and pieces that I know I can get a lot of use out of, so that's kind of been my shift ever since, I don't know, when did I really stop buying Chanel? I think last summer was the last time I got something, and it was like those puffy flip-flops that I got from Gab Waller. So those were the last times I really wanted something from Chanel. And then ever since then, there hasn't really been anything tugging at my heart. So yeah, which is great because then that saves me a lot of money and temptation if I'm not even trying to wander into the store. Next, we have books. Marco got me a Kindle, and I literally have a stack of books that I have not yet read. But whenever I walk into a bookstore, I can't help but browse and be inclined to picking something up. So I'm gonna really try my hardest to not add on any more books, because physically there's no place for them, and I should just be reading it off of my Kindle. My one exception to the books thing is going to be coffee table books, because I really love those. I have started a collection of those Assouline books, which are the colorful ones of different places around the world, and that's literally like the most color that we have at the house. Over the years, I have kind of curated a kind of solid collection of coffee table books that I love to browse through occasionally. I do have a section on my Amazon storefront of coffee table books, so in case anyone is curious, I will have that link down below, as well as everything else in the video if it's available. Next up is going to be fragrances, and by this I mean perfumes. Being in the industry, I do get to test out a lot of fragrances, so there's really no need for me to go out and buy them. My mom also has a great collection of fragrances now because I give a lot of it to her. If it's a scent I know that she leans towards more than I do. So yeah, there's really no need for me to be buying fragrances. The only thing that I want to be buying that is fragrance is going to be fragrances for the home, whether that's candles or soaps and room sprays. Those are my weakness. I just love walking into the house and feeling like it just smells divine. For the most part, I do stick with Erin, Byredo. I have one Chloe one that I really love. Might have to take you guys through my fragrance collection in another vlog when I'm like cleaning up the office over there. Last but not least, mini bags. So I appreciate a cute little mini bag, but I think with what I do have in terms of the smaller bags, I definitely love my medium-sized to larger totes. I think for the summer, whenever I do lean towards something smaller, it's usually my little Monton micro bag, and that gets the job done. So I definitely am not inclined to purchasing any more tiny bags for the rest of the year. I think I'm okay with those. I am so happy with where my collection is at, and very excited to show you guys an updated bag collection video because it is coming along very, very nicely. We'll see when that happens because I am sending a couple of bags out to the spa. I have my 2 Hermes bags that need to get a little facelift, and then I'm going to be sending out 2 of my Chanel bags as well because they definitely need a little TLC. That is pretty much it for my no buy list for 2023. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything you're committed to trying not to spend your money on this year. And that's it for me. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.